Harry, come a long way from Malaysia, a long way to Fulham, to London itself, but I'm going to get straight into it. I want to know what you, Harry Wilson, offer this team that's different from anybody else. What makes you unique?
I feel like I am different to the wingers that we got in this team. I think you look at Adama, for instance, I feel like he likes to obviously use his pace and his strength and run at players, but I think I'm a bit different. Although I do like to dribble with the ball, I think I'm more of a link player and always play on the opposite side. So I come in the pitch and try and link the play with my teammates, create chances. So I think that makes me different to the other attacking players we have in the team.
Is there pressure being a creative playmaker?
I think so. I think the way the game is at the minute, all attacking players are judged on the numbers, whether it's goals or assists, chances created, stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like when you're playing the Premier League, there's always pressure, but yeah, I just always try and go out and do the best from my team.
You're from Wrexham, Wales, as we all know, and they've become pretty famous nowadays because of the TV show, Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like when the news broke probably two and a half years ago now that Ryan Reynolds and Rob wanted to take over Wrexham, I think me and everyone back home couldn't believe it and didn't believe it until the news finally broke from the club itself. So, but I think since they've been the owners, what they've done for the club, what they've done for the town has been amazing. I think the town really needed a lift. I think it was getting a bit run down and wasn't in the best shape. But I think them coming into the football club has really galvanised the place, and not just the team, and to see them get promoted back into the Football League after 15 years and to be in the top three of League Two now and looking like hopefully they're going to go up another league. It's it's amazing for the town and amazing for the fans.
Could we see a 40-year-old Harry Wilson play for the club like Ben Foster did?
I think the way they're going, I don't think they'd take a 40-year-old Harry Wilson, but yeah, like you say, you never know. I used to go and watch when I was a kid with my uncle and my cousins, and I've always kept an eye on him. I think for the last 10 years or so, it's not been great and not been easy, but now they've got the backing. I think the feel-good factor's back, and yeah, at the moment it just looks like the club's going in one direction, and that's up.
Well, a little bit closer now to where we are right now. A couple of years at Fulham, closing in on 100 appearances. How do you summarise your time at this historic club?
Yeah, I've loved it. I think before I signed here, I'd never played at Fulham before. I think when I'd been at my previous clubs, when I was in the Championship, I think the club were in the Premier League, and when I was in the Premier League, the club was in the Championship, so we always kind of missed each other. So, but ever since my first phone call with Marco, yeah, I knew that this was the place for me. I really felt the way that he was speaking on the phone to me, the way he saw me playing in his teams, the way he wanted to set up, the plans he had to get out of the Championship and to stay in the Premier League. I really bought into it, and yeah, I think it's been all positive, and I definitely made the right decision.
How has he improved you, Marco Silva, as a manager?
I think the confidence he showed in me. I think throughout the Championship campaign, I think I started every game I was available for, and even in the moments where I maybe wasn't playing as well, I think he always backed me. And then when I had my injury, when we first came to the Premier League, that was difficult for me because I'd never been injured before. I didn't really know how to deal with that. So I think the way he got me back into the team allowed me the time to find my feet again. And I think towards the back end of last season, I really found my form again. So I feel like the belief he gives you as a player and the confidence that he gives you.
I have to talk about players in form. Rodrigo Muniz, you must be happy for him. How would you describe what he's done so far? Yeah,
I'm delighted for Rodrigo. I think when he first came over a couple of years ago, when we was in the Championship, it was tough for him. He didn't speak the language. He was behind Mitro, who was obviously scoring every game in the Championship. So I think he found it tough. But I think last year he showed glimpses, and this year he's took his game to a new level. And yeah, the goals that he's getting at the minute, I think, are the rewards of the work he's put in. Because even when he wasn't scoring at the beginning of the season, I felt when he was coming off the bench, he was making a real difference. He was putting himself about. He was creating chances for players. Yeah, and I'm delighted that now the goals are starting to flow for him.
There must be chemistry between you and him as well. I mean, we talked about you being a creative playmaker. Is it worked on in the training ground, or you just instinctively know where one another's going to be?
I feel like for me, I'm usually one of the closest players to him on the pitch, with both being attackers, and I think it's important for a wide player or a number 10, whoever it is, to know the striker that you're playing with, movements, and he's the type of striker that likes to attack crosses, attack balls. So I think the Brighton game showed that when I got the ball and got it out my feet, he was already on the move, and for me it was about putting it into an area, and yeah, he attacked it so well, and yeah, you'd always back him against the centre half.
As a player, do you feel there's always a little extra needle when it's a derby game? When it's a London derby in this case? Does it add that extra bit of spice?
I feel like for the fans it does. I think for us as players, every time you go over that white line, whether it's a derby or the team the other end of the country, you want to win the game. But like I said, I feel like fans, it definitely means more because they might have family members or close friends who are fans of that team, and I think that definitely adds a bit extra for them.
Can I ask also what's your favourite position on the pitch? Because sometimes you operate one way for your national team in Wales, sometimes you operate another way for Fulham. What's your preference?
I don't really have a preference. I feel like my position changes from Fulham to the national team. I think formation plays a big part in that. But as long as I'm in one of the attacking positions on the pitch, I feel like I can be effective. I think the position I play for Fulham really suits me because the fullback that's behind me, whether it's Castagna or Tete, I feel like they're attack-minded, where that allows me to come inside the pitch and link up play and create chances, which I like to do. And then for Wales, I start in the middle of the pitch, which I really like as well, because I feel like I'm always involved, and I feel like the players that I have for the national team as well, I think they suit my game too.
We met a few years ago at your previous club, and you've grown, you've matured, you're more confident now, I feel, so I'm going to ask some questions to get to know you a little bit better. What do you like to do to relax?
It used to be PlayStation, Call of Duty, Fortnite, FIFA, but I had a little boy last year, so a lot of my time is taken up with him now. When I get home, always like to make sure I'm playing with him, and yeah, making sure that he's happy.
What movie would you recommend so I can get to know Harry Wilson a little bit better?
Oh,
a movie that defines who you are. So your personal recommendation.
Yeah, I think just because I've watched it recently, Hustle with Adam Sandler, it's on Netflix.
He's in London.
Yeah, is he? It's a basketball one, and this guy's trying to get into the NBA, and Adam Sandler's trying to train him up, teach him life skills and stuff to allow him to do that, and I think he eventually gets there, so I think that's just in my mind because I've recently watched it.
And it's good?
Very good, yeah.
TV show, what would you recommend? I'm travelling for 4 weeks, so I need things to
I've been watching a couple of the BBC documentaries at the minute. So I watched Fool Me once, that I've just finished that, and Kin as well. They're like kind of like, well, they're drug related, but it's like a crime family. So
is that the one?
If you're into that, I definitely recommend.
Isn't that the one with Barry Keoghan? Is that?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I'm not
okay,
sure
I think I know which one you're referring to.
Nah, they're both decent.